Okay. This is a concern that Lord Krishna has left to his abode. And then, when Lord Krishna left to his abode, the personification of Kali, he started promoting all types of religious activities. And Maharaj Parikshit knew this. And you could see that auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious must be actually performed. So he is not envious of the personality of Kali. In Kali Yuga, inauspicious activities has to be performed. Just by the thought, nothing is going to happen. But in Satyuga, even if you think ill about a person, there will be an effect. But in Kali Yuga, in the mind, if you whatever you may think, till you perform, then only that effect will be there. So he was like, so you may think he was just considering that less intelligent people may find Kali to be very powerful. But those who are self-controlled, they have nothing to fear. There was a king, he was very powerful like a tiger and did not care for such foolish and careless people. So now the sages are asking, we want to know more about Krishna's activities. And that too in the connection with the pious Maharaj Parikshit. So these topics are transcendental and the qualities of Krishna is also very wonderful. And we want to know more about him. So sages of Naimisharanya, they are asking to Sutta Goswami. Arishaya Uchuhu Sutta Jiva Sama Saumya Shashwatir Vishadam Yashaha Yastam Shamsasi Krishnasya Martyanam Amritam Hinaha. O Sutta Goswami, may you live many years and have eternal fame. For you are speaking very nicely about the activities of Lord. This is just like a nectar for mortal beings like us. Shamsasi means you are speaking very nicely. About whom? About Krishnasya. And we are just Martyana. And for us, this is a nectar. It is a nectar for us. And this is going to give us Amritam. That means we will be understanding the eternity of our life. And that is how the Shaunakadi Rishi, they are blessing Sutta Goswami. Sutta Goswami is a very young boy. Because these sages have heard from his father Lomaharsha. Lomaharsha was speaking, and at the time Balram comes. He does not pay attention to Balram. That is how his Ayu goes down. And Balram, he takes one tinka, one weed, and kills Romaharsha. Because Romaharsha had the pride. He did not respect Balaram. It's very important to respect the Guru. Suppose there is a speaker and great personalities, they come. Immediately the speaker, at least by gesture, if he is not able to give the asan, because sometimes the crowd is more, you cannot do all those formalities. By gesture, you should pay obeisances. That is most important. So that is how it is said here. They were all listening to his class, to his father's class. And it was going on for many years. Now these sages are fatherly by nature, by age also, fatherly by age also. That is why now they are wishing Sutta Goswami. But there is nobody to teach them Bhagavatam. So now they want to hear from Sutta Goswami. They know that Sutta Goswami has heard the banks of Ganga from Sukadeva Goswami. And Sutta Goswami is a great personality, they know this. That is why they are saying that we pray that you live a long time, many, many years. And we pray that you have an eternal fame also. Because you're speaking so nicely about the activities of Lord. And we want to hear more in connection with Parikshit Maharaj. Okay. So Gadadhar Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna, Dandatma Mataji. ऋष्य ऊचुः सूत जीव समाह सौम्य शाश्वते विषादं यशः यस्त्वां संससि कृष्णस्य मर्त्यानाम् अमृतं हीनः. Translation and purport Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The good sage said, The good sages said, O grave Sutta Goswami, may you live many years and have eternal fame. For you are speaking very nicely about the activities of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. This is just like nectar for mortal beings like us. Purport. When we hear about the transcendental qualities and activities of the personality of Godhead, we may always remember what has been spoken by the Lord Himself in the Bhagavad Gita 4.9. His acts, even when He acts in human society, are all transcendental, for they are all accentuated by the spiritual energy of the Lord, which is distinguished from His material energy. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, such acts are called divyam. This means that he does not act to he does not act or take his work like an ordinary living being under the custody of material energy, nor is his body material or changeable like that of ordinary living beings. And one authorities authorized sources is not reborn after leaving the present material body. Such an enlightened soul is admitted into the spiritual realm of the Lord and engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Therefore, the more we hear about the transcendental activities of the Lord, as they are stated in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the more we can know about his transcendental nature and thus make definite progress on the path back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Namaste.
Next. कर्माण्यस्मिन् अनावासे धूमधूम्रात्मनां भवान् आपाययति गोविन्द पादपद्मासवं मधु. Karmani, performance of asmin, in this anashvase, without certainty, dhuma, smoke, dhumra, atmanam, changed body and mind, bhavan, your good self, apayati, very much pleasing. Govinda, the personality of God, pada, feet, padma, asavam, nectar of the lotus flower, madhu, honey. We have just begun the performance of this fruitive activity, a sacrificial fire, without certainty of its result, due to the many imperfections in our action. Our bodies have become black from the smoke, but we are factually pleased by the nectar of the lotus feet of the Lord, which you are distributing. So, after Roma Harsha left, what they'll do? They're just performing yajnas. That is what even the first chapter, first Canto first chapter, if you see, the sages of Naimisharanya, they are saying that we are just performing, this is their say. Naimishe nimiksha kshetre rushe shonakade saptram swargaya lokaya sahasra samamasata. For 1,000 years, they are performing yajnas. Those time yajnas, even today also, in many of the mathas, in the morning hours, they'll perform yajnas. 1,000 years. They are performing yajnas. 1,000 years. Even today also, in many of the mathas, in many of the mathas, in the morning hours, they'll perform yajnas. 1,000 years. 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 1,000 years But yajna, they are performing yajna wonderful, but there is no hearing of Bhagavatam. So they say that just by performing these yajnas, we have only become black. Only the suit has come, bus. We have become black. So what is the use? Our bodies have become black from the smoke, and we are really, but because you are speaking about Lord, now we are very pleased. We are really very pleased because we are distributing the nectar of the lotus feet of Lord. Okay. Gadadhar Prabhu, you can continue. Continue.
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
shall I read, Mataji?
Ah, you are there. Read. Today
Yes,
many have not joined.
yes, Mataji.
Nikhil and
Hare
Kumar
Krishna.
are hearing here only because I am in Nagpur.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Karmani ashmin anasvashe tumar tumra atmanam bhavan apyayati govinda pada patma ashavam madhu. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. We have just begun the performance of this sportive activity, a sacrificial fire, without certainty of its result due to the many imperfections in our action. Our bodies have become black from the smoke, but we are actually blessed by the nectar of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, Govinda, which you are distributing. Purport. The sacrificial fire kindled by the sages of Naimisaranya was certainly full of smoke and doubts because of so many flaws. The first flaw is that there is an acute scarcity of expert brahmanas able to carry out such performance successfully in the age of Kali. Any discrepancy in such sacrifice spoils the whole show, and the result is uncertain. Like agricultural enterprises, the good result of tilling the paddy field depends on providential rain, and therefore the result is uncertain. Similarly, performance of any kind of sacrifice in this age of Kali is also uncertain. Unscrupulous, greedy brahmanas of the age of Kali induce the innocent public to such uncertain sacrificial source without disclosing the scriptural injunction that in the age of Kali there is no fruitful sacrificial performance, but the sacrifice of the congregation chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Sutta Goswami was narrating the transcendental activities of the Lord before the congregation of the sages, and they were factually perceiving the result of hearing these transcendental activities. One can feel this practically as one can feel the result of eating food, spiritual realization act in that way. The sages of Naimisaranya were practically suffers from the smoke of the sacrificial fire and were doubtful about the result, but by hearing from a realized person like Sutta Goswami, they were fully satisfied in the Brahma Vaibhav Purana. Vishnu tells Shiva that in the age of Kali, men full of anxieties of various kinds can mainly labor in fruitive activity and philosophical speculation. But when they are engaged in devotional service, the result is sure and certain, and there is no loss of energy. In other words, nothing performed the spiritual realization or for material benefit or can be successful without the devotional service to the Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
What is given last line, see? In other words, nothing performed for spiritual realization or for material benefit can be successful without the devotional service to the Lord. So, devotional service involves everything, 9 aspects. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, completely engaging oneself in devotional service. Next. Kulyam Nave Lavenapi na Swargam na Punarbhavam Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Kim Utsashishah Utashishaha Tulayama Lavenapi, to be balanced, Lavenapi, for a moment also, api. Na Swargam, na Apanar Bhavam. So now the comparison is given with the association of the devotee. Sangasya Bhagavata Sangi. So the association of a devotee cannot even be compared with the attainment of the heavenly planets, nor about the liberation from matter. Martyanam kim uta ashishaha. What to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for actually for those who are meant for death. So the moment association of a devotee that has been glorified. Guru Shishya, Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lacha Bija. साधु संग साधु संग साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र कहे लव मात्र साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि होए. Here also lave napi has been given. Lava matra, just a moment association with a sadhu, with a pure devotee, that is enough to have success in your life. This cannot be even compared to the attainment of heavenly planets. What is the use of heavenly planets when you have no service to the Lord? What is the use of liberation from the matter when you are not able to use the matter in Krishna's service? What is the use of having worldly benedictions if those benedictions are not useful for the service of Lord? That is how the association of devotee, the glory of the association of devotee has been described here. Okay. Krishna Priya Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam Mataji. तुलयां लवणेनापि न स्वर्ग न पुनर्भवम् भगवन् सर्गि सर्गस्य मर्त्यानां किमुताशिषः. Translation and purport by Shri Prabhupada ki jai. The value of a moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter, and what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. Purport. When there are some similar points, it is possible to compare one thing to another. One cannot compare the association of a pure devotee to anything material. Men who are addicted to material happiness aspire to reach the heavenly planets like the moon, Venus, and Indraloka, and those who are advanced in material philosophical speculations aspire after liberation from all material bondage. When one becomes frustrated with all kinds of material advancement, one desires the opposite type of liberation, which is called apunar bhava, apanur bhava, or no rebirth.
Punarabhava.
Apun,
Punarabhava.
punar bhava, or no rebirth. But the pure devotee of the Lord do not aspire after the happiness obtained in the heavenly kingdom, nor do they aspire after liberation from material bondage. In other words, for the pure devotees of the Lord, the material pleasures obtainable in the heavenly planets are like phantasmagoria, and because they are already liberated from all the material conceptions of pleasure and distress, they are factually liberated even in the material world. This means that the pure devotee of the Lord are engaged in transcendental existence, namely in the loving service of the Lord, both in the material world and in the spiritual world. As a government servant is always the same, either in the office or at home or at any place, so a devotee has nothing to do with anything material, for he is exclusively engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. Since he has nothing to do with anything material, what pleasure can he derive from material benedictions like kingship or other overlordships, which are finished quickly with the end of the body? Devotional service is eternal. It has no end because it is spiritual. Therefore, since the assets of a pure devotee are completely different from material assets. There is no comparison between the two. Suta Goswami was a pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore his association with the rishis in Naimisaranya is unique. In the material world, association with gross materialists is veritable, condemned. The, hmm, the materialist is called Yosit Sanghi,
Yoshita
one
Sanghi. Yoshita
Yoshit
Sanghi.
Sanghi, or one who is much attached to material entanglement, women and other paraphernalia. Such attachment is conditioned because it is drives away the benedictions of life and prosperity. And just the opposite is Bhagavata Sanghi, or one who is always in the association with the Lord's name, form, qualities, etc. Such association is always desirable, it is worshipable, it is praiseworthy, and one may accept it as the highest goal of life. Hare
Yoshita
Krishna.
Sanghi, Bhagavata Sanghi. Yoshita Sanghi is association with material-minded people. To be very careful, understanding who are material-minded people. Materialists will not give up their habits. Understand it very nicely. Just because they are also worshipping Lord, don't be carried away. They are not interested in giving up their materialistic tendency. And Bhagavad Sanghi is one who have a regularized life. They follow rules and regulations very properly. So always aspire to have the Sanghi, that is Bhagavad Sanghi, to have association with such people. But materialistic people, just they do what they want. Shruti Smriti Pranadi Pancharatrika Vidhi Vina. Ekantika Harer Bhakti Utpate Ve Kevalam. They will only cause Utpat. What comes to their mind, they will do. There are certain type of people. There are karmis who are not interested even in that also worship. They are only karmis. There are jnanis. There are yogis. These three categories, if you see, if we generalize them, they are actually Yoshita Sanghi only. Even to the extent of jnani and yogi also. Yogi is also interested in only getting some siddhis. They are not interested in following Bhagavata Dharma. Simple. Bhagavata Dharma means prapannaha. That means taking shelter of Krishna. One who is taking shelter of they are also taking shelter. Huh? Yogis and Gyanis also take shelter. But that is for the accomplishment of their own desires. A Gyani, he does a lot of tapasya. But again, the fruits of the tapasya is given by Krishna only. They accept Lord till the point of their attainment of their siddhis. After that, they have nothing to do with Lord. But on the contrary, a devotee does not have anybody except Lord. So he is always interested in serving Krishna at all circumstances. He has no desire for asking anything from Lord because he knows that his senses are completely under the control of Krishna. And whatever is best for him is Krishna knows that. So that is how we should be very, very careful of choosing which association, Yoshita Sanghi or Bhagavata Sanghi. Ko nama tripyeda rasavit kathayam महत्तमैकान्तपरायणस्य नान्तं गुणानम् अगुणस्य जग्मुर् योगेश्वराये भवपात्ममुख्यः ओ नाम तृप्येद रसवित् कथायाम्. Can one be satisfied by hearing the name of Krishna? If a pure devotee is there, he is never satisfied. Who is he? Who is he? Nama Trupyeda Rasavit Tathayam. Who is he who is getting full satisfaction in just hearing the Lord's name? If he is satisfied, that means he is not a devotee. There should not be satisfaction in devotional service. If that satisfaction is there, yes, I am chanting 16 rounds, ho gaya. then he is not a devotee. Dissatisfaction in material life. Dissatisfaction in material life is degradation. Dissatisfaction in spiritual life is upgradation. Understand that. Ekanta paranasya na anta gunanam. So ekanta paranasya. One who has taken exclusively. Ekanta means exclusively he has taken the shelter of Lord. And there is no end. Na anta gunanam. There is no end to his attributes. There is no end to his transcendence. Agunasya. Jagmuhu. That is why he is Yoga Ishvaraha. He is Lord of all the mystic power. Ye Bhava Padma Mukhya. He is the head of Bhava. Bhava means Lord Shiva. He is the head of Brahma also. He is the head of Lord Shiva. He is the head of Brahma. His gunas are transcendental. Agunasya. Agunasya means it is beyond three modes of material nature. And then one who has completely taken shelter of Lord, he is never satisfied. He wants to hear more. Ye dil mange more. And these movies come, the songs come, ye dil mange more. Man, for Pepsi it comes, ye dil mange more. But you drink Pepsi, 4 or 5 bottles, will you ask, ye dil mange more? So, in material life, you cannot ask also. If you are asking, that means you're degrading yourself. More and more you drink Pepsi, what will happen? Your whole stomach is gone. Acid, no? But in here, you go on asking, can anyone who is expert in relishing nectar ever be fully satiated by hearing topics about him? No. So that is what is the answer. Okay. Read Gadadhar Prabhu, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text number 14. Ko nama trapyedra savet katayam mahatmaikaikanta parayanasya nantam gunanam
Pranayasya.
nantam gunanam agunasya jagmu yogeshwara bhava padmamukyah. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Govinda, is the exclusive shelter for all great living beings, and his transcendental attributes cannot even be measured by such masters of mystic powers as Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Can anyone who is expert in relishing nectar, rasa, ever be fully satisfied by hearing topics about him? Purport. Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are two chiefs of demigods. They are full of mystic powers. For example, Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison, of which one drop was sufficient to kill an ordinary living being. Similarly, Brahma could create many powerful demigods, including Lord Shiva. So they are Ishwaras, or lords of the universe. But they are not the supreme powerful. The supreme powerful is Govinda, Lord Krishna. He is the transcendence, and his transcendental attributes cannot be measured even by such powerful Iswaras as Shiva and Brahma. Therefore, Lord Krishna is the exclusive shelter of the greatest of all living beings. Brahma is counted amongst the living beings, but he is the greatest of all of us. And why is the greatest of all the living beings so much attached to the transcendental topics of Lord Krishna? Because he is the reservoir of all enjoyment. Everyone wants to raise some kind of taste in everything, but one who is engaged in the transcendental loving service of Lord can derive unlimited pleasure from such engagement. The Lord is unlimited, and his name, attributes, pastimes, entourage, variegatedness, etc. are unlimited. And those who realize them can do so unlimitedly and still not feel satiated. The fact is confirmed in the Padma Purana. Ramante yogino anante satyananda chidatmani iti rama padena param brahma bidiyate. The mystics derived unlimited transcendental pleasure from the absolute truth, and therefore the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is also known as Rama. There is no end to such transcendental discourses. In mundane affairs, there is the law of satiation, but in the transcendence, there is no such satiation. Suta Goswami decided to continue the topics of Lord Krishna before the sages of Naimsharanya, and the sages also express their readiness to hear from him continuously. Since the Lord is transcendence and his attributes are transcendental, such discourses increase the receptive mood of the purified audience. Hare Krishna.
राम रमन्ते विनुनन्ते सत्यानन्दचिदात्मने इति रामपदेनासौ परं ब्रह्म विधीयते राम. Same Krishna, Krishna Shabda Nivritivacha Deorekim Param Brahma Krishna Vidiyate. So Rama means one who is giving the pleasure. So there is no end to such pleasure. There is no satiation. This law of satiation doesn't work here. Tanno Bhavan Vai Bhagavat Pradhano Mahattamai Kanta Paranayas Parayanasya Harir Udaram Charitam Vishuddham Shushrushatam no Vitano tu Vidwan Tanno Bhavan Vai Bhagavat Pradhano. Sutta Goswami, they are speaking to Sutta Goswami. O Lord, O Sutta Goswami, your good self, Bhavan, Bhagavat Pradhana. Your good self is in relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mahattama, you are Mahattama. That means you are greatest of all greats. Ekanta Parayanasya, you have exclusively taken shelter of the Lord. Udaram, Charitam, Vishuddham. Udaram, Charitam, Vishuddham. So we want to know about Lord's activities. Udaram. How it is? It is in partial activities. Lord is never partial to anyone. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. When Lord is dealing with the demons also, that is also his lila and his kindness. He wants to reclaim them. So Charitam Vishuddham, it is completely beyond Vishuddham, Shesha Rupena Shuddhaha, Shushrutam. We want to hear. And these are the only topics to be heard. And we are very receptive. Naha Vitanoti Vidwan. So we should describe only to those who are receptive, who wants to hear. And you are completely, your good self is in relationship with the Lord. Your chief object is to serve Krishna. That is why, please describe the pastimes of the Lord, which are beyond material conception. For we are anxious to receive such messages. We are receptive. So this is the most important quality for a disciple. Disciple means one who is eager to hear. The only can call him a disciple. See, information many people give. Guru Shishya Parampara is one who serves, and service gives him qualification to hear. And when you hear, naturally, there is transformation. Just information will not give you any transformation. Many give information, okay, you will relish for some time and then there will be no transformation. A sincere student is one who serves, who hears, and who transforms his life. So devotional service is not just lip service. Generally, we see there's a lot of lip service. Oh, Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat also they don't say DP. All these things are just lip service. Somebody wrote to me at night, DP. The whole night I was thinking whether this is electricity, something DP or what it is. Morning I asked, why did you write DP? And Dandavat Pranam. I said, if you are told, na, better is you come and do Dandavat Pranam then. Nowadays the fashion is even when you stand also, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. And you do na, pay na obeisances. So it's not just lip service. Your whole concentration should be how to serve the best. That is more important. That is going to give you transformation in your life. Nowadays we find a lot of passion is there. We want a guru, and the guru also, and then just go behind the guru for some time and afterwards completely change the guru also. It's always because of not following tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upatyakshati te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Qualification to even ask a question comes only by service. Without seva, all these things are a complete failure. Tasyante katitayartam prakashante mahatmanah. Tasyante katitayartam. Only when a person yatha devai tata yatha devai yasya devai para bhakti yatha devai tata guru tasyante katitayartam prakashante mahatmanah. Serve the spiritual master as good as Lord. Yasya devai para bhakti tasya devai tatha guru. That much you love the spiritual master. Then tasyate katitayartam. Automatically the knowledge comes. Because the knowledge is there within. It's not learned from outside. It is there within all of us. It is there. By service, what happens? Paramatma within our heart, he discloses that knowledge. If you see in the Alvars also, very Alvar, he was only used to make the flowers. Just used to make flowers. And then the king called, Madurai king called, come. Lord came in the dreams of Madurai king and told, call that Alvar. He's a great devotee in Shivaliputtur. Call him and ask him to challenge this proud Brahmana who had come. And when he was called, Peri Alvar says, oh, what I know to speak. I just make flowers for Lord. I don't do anything. Lord says, you open the mouth, I will speak through you. And that is how he speaks. And he is in the Vatsalya Bhav, serving Vadavatra Shai. And thereafter, he is conquered. When he wins, he is taken in the procession, making him sit on the back of the elephant. He's taken the procession. Lord comes to see, oh, how glorious is my devotee. And that also, Periyalvar says, Pallandu, 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 Pallairattandu. Oh, I pray, I remove your drishti. You please, why you came in public? Everybody will see your beauty. You're so beautiful. They'll put drishti on you. Lord says, don't worry, Garuda is there. Again, Pallandu, Pallandu for Garuda. Like mothers remove the drishti, na, like that. Then Lord says, no, Shankachakra is there. Oh, Pallandu, Pallandu for even Shankachakra. So this type of love, and how this knowledge came? Just by service. Every day without fail to do the service. Anantalvan. Or what they did? They just served Lord very nicely. You serve Lord very nicely. Tatsite kapitayartam prakashante matam. And how to serve Lord? One gets a fortune to serve Lord directly. One gets the fortune to serve Lord through the spiritual master. You love your spiritual master, follow the instructions of the spiritual master, and love Krishna according to the principles given by the spiritual master. That is enough. That is enough to cross this particular ocean. To get the service of Krishna, it itself is a bhagyam. To get the service of the spiritual master, it also is a bhagyam. So that is what is given here. So you are a pure devotee and we want to learn from you. So yesterday, what is the last line we say every day? Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. Because of you, we have got Lord. Or what we know how to serve Lord. And because of the Lord, one gets a spiritual master. So that is why one has to be eager to hear the message from the spiritual master. Okay. Kamalakshi Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 15. Tanno bhavan vai bhagavat pradano mahattama ekanda parayanasya harir udaram charitam vishuttam sushrusadam na vidanotu vitvan. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O Sutta Goswami, you are a learned and pure devotee of the Lord because the personality of Godhead is your chief object of service. Therefore, please describe to us the pastimes of the Lord, which are above all material consumption. For we are anxious to receive such messages. Purport. The speaker and the transcendent activities of the Lord should have only one object of worship and service, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the audience for such topics should be anxious to hear about him. When such a combination is possible, namely a qualified speaker and a qualified audience, it is done, and there are very much congenial to continue discourses on the transcendence. Professional speaker and a materially observed audience cannot derive real benefit from such discourses. Professional speaker make a show of Bhagavad Sabha, Saptaha for the sake of family maintenance. And the materially disposed audience hears such discourses of Bhagavata Saptaha for some material benefit, namely religiosity, wealth, gratification of the senses, or liberation. Such Bhagavatam discourses are not purified from the contamination of the material qualities, but the discourses between the saints of Naimisaranya and Sri Sutta Goswami are on the transcendental level. There is no motive for material gain. In such discourses, unlimited transcendental pleasure is released both by the audience and by the speaker, and therefore they can continue the topics for many thousands of years. Now, Bhagavata Saptahas are held for 7 days only, and after finishing the show, both the audience and the speaker become engaged in material activities as usual. They can do so because the speaker is not Bhagavat Pradhana and the audience is not Sushrusadam or as explained above. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Shushrusata. Shushrusata. That is one who is eager to. So we'll stop here. Today the students are also less, so we will stop here. Any questions,
Hare
Mataji?
Krishna Mataji, आप यात्रा जाके हैं माताजी अगोविलम?
Yeah, Tirupati Ahobilam, Mantralayam.
Oh, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Next time you should join Mataji on the yatras.
Yes, yes, Mataji. Krishna's
Now we are going
mercy.
to,
Yes, Mataji,
we
we
are going to
will join.
Prayagraj. Now we are going to
Yes.
Prayagraj.
Oh,
Hari
Hare
Bol,
Bol, Hare
Hari
Bol.
Every time. Somewhere the
Nayan
yatra
Manjari
is.
also. Nayan Manjari
Yeah,
also.
she walked. All our
Oh,
Gurukul boys and Nayan Mantri, they
Oh.
walked whole
Hare
Ahobilam.
Bol. Hare
Gurukul
Bol.
boys went, they are small kids actually, they are very small boys. 8 years
Oh.
onwards, this is 8 to 12 years children.
Oh,
So
Hare Bol.
11 children, they climbed Ugrastambam also.
Oh, Hare Bol, Hare Bol.
I was
Please give
telling,
your
but
blessing to us, Mataji. Please give your blessing to us for Brahminical initiation, Mataji. We
Acha,
applied, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. The recommendation letter.
when is Brahmin initiation?
Mataji, we can to apply this week, Mataji. And then Kumbhakonam date is installed the March 23rd. Our Guru Maharaj also will come, Mataji. That time we will.
Kumbhakonam. You are getting the initiation in Kumbhakonam.
Yes, Mataji.
No, we're trying, Mataji, whether we really
Who is the special
will.
master? Who is the special master?
Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj Mataji.
It's only in
Acha,
Jaipur.
in Kumbhakonam, there is a place where Raghavendra Swami took birth. And Raghavendra Swami's initiation happens in Kumbhakonam.
Oh, Hare Bol,
Now
Hare
in
Bol.
Kumbhakonam, he is inspired to take sannyas initiation. Sannyas initiation is given in Tanjore because Tanjore. His wife, before his wife cannot be given, so but then his wife leaves her body. That is how he gets Bularam deities in Kumbhakonam. Kumbhakonam is a place, very important place is Kumbhakonam. There is a place where
Yeah.
4,000 Divya Prabandham also got revealed to Nathamuni. That is how Nathamuni is inspired to go to Alvar Tirunagari to do the meditation, to chant the 10 verses which some Brahmins were chanting in the temple of Kumbakonam. These 10, the part of 4,000 Divya Prabandha. These 10 verses for 10,000 times, that means 1 lakh times.
Oh,
Natha Muni chanted. That is how he got back the 4,000 Divya Prabandha, which was lost actually. Who is Natha Muni? He is grandfather of Yamanacharya, who is a spiritual preceptor of Ramanujacharya. Tomorrow is Ramanujacharya's disappearance. Today is Madhvacharya's disappearance. Okay.
okay,
We
Mataji.
just trying, Mataji. Please pray for us so that
Please give
we'll
your
be able
blessing,
to go.
Mataji.
Very good.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Mancha Kripa Setu Bhiyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo. Namo Namo. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much.